The brash, the brazen, the dynamic. I work around the clock. I don't stop. Seanzviewent Entertainment, prolific, consistent, and dedicated. Monday Night Raw had massive issues last night with the script. Can you imagine this one? And we got news on Sasha Banks. We got news on the Raw ratings. It was just disaster written all over. Remember to share, subscribe, and smash the bell and turn on all notifications. WWE's flagship show is Raw, so it tends and needs to be taken very seriously. Although SmackDown is moving to Fox, so I think WWE is taking SmackDown on Fox a little bit more serious, especially that Roman Reigns is on the blue brand of SmackDown Live. But Ringside News and other various dirt sheets and websites and newsletters, and we remember, let's just keep in mind, Jeff Hardy is injured. We got the new Bray Wyatt gimmick into effect, and a lot of people are souring on it. A lot of people are hot about it. A lot of people are on it. A lot of people are on the fence about it. But let's get into the big script changes on Monday Night Raw. But this week, they seem to have some big issues once again. It was previously reported that the more that the WWE writers left the company, there seems to be a running theme of people getting irritated at Vince McMahon for changing his mind on a constant basis. This could very well have been the case last night. Then again, the company also has to figure out what to do with Andrade, Aleister Black, and Zelina Vega because they had to move them back to SmackDown Live. Ricochet was the only one who really ended up getting screwed out of the deal as well because they had to figure out how to use him on his own and how he lost. But we all know what happened to Cesaro. There's a lot of last-minute changes in developments on the Red brand. Brian Alvarez tweeted out last night that the script for Raw was finalized with 4 minutes before they were scheduled to go live on the USA Network. If they had taken much longer, they would have been writing the show as it went on. A lot of fans immediately started to compare this kind of issue to WCW, but soon fans could say 2019 WWE instead soon enough, because this seems to be an ongoing issue. They had 2 triple threat matches that fed into the main event. AJ Styles was standing tall at the end of the night, and then Seth Rollins came out to give his hometown fans one final pop. If you want the entire Raw results, you can search it up online yourself. There are also several things that took up time on the show, but the biggest segment that was a parade of champions, which took up around 20 minutes of the show's beginning. The opener probably didn't do them any favors. We will just have to wait and see when the WWE's ratings come out, which the ratings, ladies and gentlemen, the ratings, oh boy. That's a whole different deal, viewers. The ratings from Monday Night Raw. But before we get into the ratings on Monday Night Raw, because I want to score into the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one. This is just... And, Monday Night Raw, for the most part, like I said, Bray Wyatt segment, I don't want to chomp on it and degrade it before it flows and grows. But Daniel Bryan is beloved by millions, even while he is telling them that they are responsible for killing the planet. However, the bearded goat seems to be injured, and at this stage in his career, a concussion might be a one-and-done situation. Mike Johnson noted on PW Insider that Daniel Bryan is injured, and the details surrounding the injury are being closely guarded. This is why he hasn't been seen since WrestleMania 35. Brian Alvarez said on the Wrestling Observer Radio yesterday that he had an opinion on the Daniel Bryan situation, but he wasn't going to let it out just yet. He seemed to let on like he knew something further on the matter, and he said that he is angry about what happened. However, instead of discussing it, he further simply said that he will wait for the news to break before he comments, which has led many to assume and think that Daniel Bryan is going to have to retire or take a sabbatical or, maybe be benched. There are currently rumors going around that the WWE injuries get out quickly, and if they're bad enough, since nobody's hearing about Daniel Bryan, then it must not be a big deal. However, the idea of the news getting out is only dependent on those around the situation. If the chain of information is tight enough, then we might not even hear about it until they want more information. The nature of Daniel Bryan's injuries that caused his first retirement from pro wrestling weren't fully disclosed until he told us about them during his retirement speech. Therefore, it is highly plausible that whatever is wrong with Daniel Bryan is not going to get out until he intends on telling people. We will just have to wait to see the status on Daniel Bryan. But viewers and subscribers, I ain't lying. Seanzviewent Entertainment here with the Raw ratings, and this, ladies and gentlemen, and this was a show that was supposedly okay, noteworthy, some storylines, some angles coming out of it, but in the end, what was the trend? Well, the trend, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's Raw ratings, it wasn't good. And, the WWE tried you got to give them an effort here. They tried. And Sasha Banks, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one. Sasha Banks has no plans to return to the WWE, and she wants to just let her contract run right out. WWE Monday Night Raw draws scary low ratings. Scary low viewership number. The fans are sending a message to WWE with this week's Monday Night Raw viewership. This week's episode was watched by just 2,374,000 viewers. That's 2,374,000 viewers, which is along the lines of SmackDown Live viewership. The other thing that should have the WWE worried is that the number of people who turned out throughout the show. They lost almost 400,000 viewers from the first to the second and lost another 500,000 viewers by the time they got to the third hour. This week's episode was among the least watched Monday Night Raw shows in history. Just to compare, last week's was watched by 2,665,000 viewers. There was chaos on WWE Raw last night because of the script changes, because of the last-minute changes. WWE has pulled The Undertaker and Kurt Angle from any other conventions or appearances unless it's the WWE. Fan was backtracked, and fan backtracks on claim that the WWE forced him to leave for wearing a Jim Cornette t-shirt. CM Punk appears to take a harsh shot at Colt Cabana in a harsh tweet. Vince McMahon lifts the ban on a word that was not allowed on WWE, that being belts. Vince McMahon has a lot of different arrangements and scenarios and words and dictionaries and vocabularies. He didn't like the word belts. He wanted it to be titles. He wanted it to be championships. But Vince McMahon now wants that to be, And, several WWE stars have reacted to Bray Wyatt's new character. The thing about it is, whether or not you like Bray Wyatt's character, it's getting people to talk. And you know what? Just like Seanzviewent Entertainment, whether right or wrong, indifferent, you get people to talk, you get people invested, you get people interested, and that's just the way it is. Remember, for all the latest rumors, news, headlines, changes, and developments, the brash and brazen Seanzviewent Entertainment will always live up to the expectations, because Seanzviewent Entertainment will always live it brash and brazen. More to come, your comments, your opinions, more to come from the Brash One. Subscribe. And what do you think about Daniel Bryan? What do you think about the Raw script? What do you think about Bray Wyatt? What do you think about Jeff Hardy's injury? What do you think about everything that was discussed? Share my videos on Facebook and Twitter. Have no fear. The Brash One is here.